everyone, and welcome back to our channel. I've put together a video of my favourite sales from October. These are specifically eBay sales. I was actually really surprised looking back over the month what had sold, to be honest, because I came out of October feeling a bit dejected. We'd had quite a slow month and sales weren't great. We were selling more on Amazon than we were on eBay. But looking back through, I've actually had some really nice sales. So I'm going to go through those with you now and tell you a bit more about them. First up are these Christian Dior stockings. I shared these a long time ago in a haul video. They may have even been in a vlog of our charity shopping. They've been on eBay for a long time. I think I started them at £20 and slowly started to reduce the price because there was a lot of interest in them, but they weren't selling. I think finally I put them down to about 15 and eventually I was offered 13, so I took that quite happily. I picked up this jumper back in the summer and I think I shared it in a haul at the time and talked about how it was really nostalgic for me because I remember the Warner Brothers studio store on Regent Street. When I was at university in London, I used to go in there probably about once a week along with the Disney store just to go in and browse. Love Warner Brothers. Used to buy lots of gifts. I think one of the first things I ever bought Nick when we were dating was Marvin the Martian key ring, which didn't last very long. It broke off his key ring, and it's still a running joke in the family because he used to hide it around the house, so our nieces and nephews used to search for it and it would always be somewhere different every time they came round, and they were really young at the time, so they called him Murphin the Murphin. And people still talk about it. Where's Murphin the Murphin? Do we still have Murphin the Murphin? But anyway, I digress. It brought back lots of memories when I found this at the boot sale, and I was really pleased to find it, and it is in pristine condition, and just thrilled that it sold for its full price, and the person that it sold to is really happy with it too. This is a skirt that I had in my backlog, so I have absolutely no memory of where I bought it, but when I pulled it out I was really happy to find it because it's a beautiful skirt, silk blend. It's quite a high value brand, so I put it on for quite high and then I took an offer of 25 on it. It didn't take long to sell at all, so yeah, really happy with that. These are boots that I picked up at the Jumble Trail in the summer. You may remember we did a vlog of the day and I did a haul as well, and I picked up a number of boots and shoes on that particular day. These were the first to sell. I have sold a couple of other pairs since, which unfortunately have come back due to not fitting, but these ones sold for their full price and they haven't come back, so really pleased with that. I picked up this tray at a boot sale a while back. I call it a tray. I mean, it could be used as a tray, but as you can see I put wall hanging in the title as well, because there's quite a trend in boho homes at the moment for round flat trays to be hung on the wall, so I've used that as a keyword. It did stick around for quite a while, but then I did have it priced quite high to start with. I thought it was really unusual, quite unique, so I was holding out for more on it, but eventually I dropped the price to $14.99 and it sold quite quickly after that. This was another pair of shoes that I purchased at that Jumble Trail. I think I paid £1 or £2 on them, and I took an offer of £10. Once I got them home I realised that the particular brand wasn't selling for huge amounts, so they were listed at quite a low price anyway, so I was happy to get £10 for them. Having recently come back from our trip to Disney World in Florida, my eye is drawn to anything Disney at the moment, and Ellen actually bought herself a pair of these while we were out in Disney World, and they cost her $25, which just felt extortionate at the time, but she absolutely loves them and she wore them every day when we were out there. So she certainly got her money's worth on them, but it also alerted me to the fact that they may look insignificant on a huge table at a jumble trail or a boot sale, but there is a lot of value in them. These particular ones are classic ones, but if you find the more unusual type, there's a lot more value in those. So these are brand new with their tag, and as you can see, I sold them for $12.99 plus post. I picked up this bowl at a jumble trail in the summer, and I had absolutely no idea what it was, whether it had any value in it. I just knew that I liked it and I wanted to learn a bit more about pottery. So I took a chance on it and I picked it up and did a little bit of research. Not a lot came back with my sort of sketchy knowledge. So I ended up putting it on auction, just starting at £15, and it sold for its opening bid. So I was over the moon to get £15 for it. It may have been worth more, it may have been worth less, and it was just a fluke, I don't know. But yeah, it was a good profit from 50p, so I was very pleased. So next up is another pair of Minnie Mouse ears. Again, I only paid 50p for them. This pair have been worn, they didn't have their tag with them, so I listed them for a lot less. I think I might have listed them for $9.99, and then I took an offer of $7.50 on them. This Jules dress was left over from the children's clothing shop that we had. I kept back a few of the more expensive pieces, the higher brands, and I don't think I've got a lot left now, but this I absolutely loved and I had to hold on to. As you can see, it's a gorgeous sort of Alice in Wonderland print. I think I had it listed for about £20 and I took an offer of 15 on it. Just want to say that if you're selling children's clothing, just be careful with age and sizing, because the younger ages and the smaller sizes, they can sit around on eBay and just not sell. I've had to take a lot off and send it off to charity or reboot sale it. The older ages, the older sizes, they tend to sell a lot better, probably because at that age they're wearing things out a lot quicker. So yeah, just be careful with the sizing if you're picking up things to resell. These jeans were another jumble trail pickup. We were at a particular stall and she had a few bits of clothing out which I was browsing through, nothing amazing, and then we got talking to her and she was asking what I was interested in, and I said I was looking more for the more vintage sort of clothing, and then she said, oh hang on, I've got some of my daughters in the house, you know, she's grown out of them for a long time ago, and do you want to have a look through? I'll go and get a couple of pieces. And she came back with a few things, and these Fabergé jeans were amongst them, and I didn't even know that Fabergé did clothing. I've always thought Fabergé, eggs, jewellery, you know, intricate, beautiful things. I had absolutely no idea they had a clothing line, but they're very, I couldn't tell you whether they were 80s or 90s, but they're very 80s stroke 90s style, which is good because it's very much on trend again now. So I snapped these up for £1, and as you can see, I took an offer and sold them for £30. So really good turnaround on those. So I've had this blouse for a while. I can't remember where I got it from or how much I paid, but it's been in my stock for a while. I pulled it out and I just love the print on it. Any kind of print like this, any kind of dog print or animal print like this, generally tends to sell quite well, but this one did actually stick around for a while. It could be the small size, it could be the fact it's sheer, who knows, I don't know. But as you can see, my daughter's modelling it very well, and it did eventually sell, and I was happy with the offer that I got for it. These Bowden jeans came with a lot of Bowden jeans that we bought at a boot sale, and we're slowly selling them through. The photo on this one is terrible, really bad. The light in my office that day was so bright and I was really struggling to get a good photo. I did have thoughts that I would retake it, but at the time I was just like, no, just get the listing on and I'll, do the photo again another time and revise the listing. But they actually sold before I got a chance to do that. So, it surprised me, being that they were a small size and that the photo was so terrible, that out of all the jeans that I listed, they sold so quickly. But I suppose it just goes to show that, sometimes you don't need to worry so much about having perfect photos. But yeah, I was really happy to take the offer of £12 on it. I'm completely in profit with the jeans now anyway. I've sold a few and we've got our money back on them. So happy to take this offer and happy to sell it and not have to bother revising the listing. So going back to the pottery again, I picked this up at the same time as the bowl that I sold, at the same jumble, and it was only 50p again. I picked it up for exactly the same reason I picked up the bowl. I knew nothing about it, I just really liked the look of it, and it was very cheap, so I thought I would give it a go. I did actually put this one on auction at the same time as the bowl, but it didn't sell. So I put it back on to buy it now, and it sold for my full asking price. This jumpsuit's one I had on eBay for a very long time. It just sat around. I kept adjusting the prices, adjusting different things in the listing, and it wasn't selling, which really surprised me because I loved it when I picked it up in a charity shop, and I just thought it was a really nice jumpsuit. So it surprised me that it didn't sell quicker than it did. And it's so beautifully modelled by my daughter as well, so it was a mystery to me why it took so long to sell, but eventually it did, and I took an offer of £10 on it. If you've watched any of my sales videos or haul videos in the past, then you'll know that I really love my photography. I have a degree in photography and I really love picking up retro looking cameras. There's quite a market out there for them at the moment. People are loving going back to 35mm point and shoot style photography. There's quite a movement of photographers really getting back into that sort of thing. So I really love picking up cameras and just trying to learn more about it. So that was my thinking with picking up this Helena. I knew that it wasn't a particularly sought after make, and I knew it wouldn't fetch a huge amount of profit. But I just wanted to pick it up, have a play with it, learn a bit more, and I did that, and I made a small profit on top of that, so it's all good. This one was a lovely sale, huge profit. I think I picked it up at a jumble sale at some point, so I wouldn't have paid a lot for it. It's been listed for a number of months, but I stuck to my guns on it. I may have dropped the price a little bit, but I kept it high. I had faith that eventually it would sell to the right person, and it did. I think it's actually gone to America. So yeah, if you believe in something, stick to your price, and if you're patient enough, eventually it will sell. Looking at the photos for this suit, it just reminded me of a conversation that I had with Emma Reseller this week. If you don't follow her, she's on Instagram and she's also on YouTube, so check out her channel and her Instagram if you're on there, because she's really good. She makes some really good videos. But we were having a discussion about the little wand tool that you use. It's sort of, when you click the wand tool, I'm not exactly sure how you would technically describe this, but it basically brightens up your image. And we were talking about using it on black, and I used it on this particular suit, which is actually dark blue, but it, is close to black. And I find that sometimes it can make it look really fuzzy, as you can see from the photos. And she was saying that actually if you then use the little triangle symbol, that can sharpen it up as well. So if you do find that your photos are a little bit fuzzy, then use the sharpening tool, which is the little triangle, which can then crisp it up a bit, which is a great tip, because I've actually gone back and done that on a few things that I wasn't happy with. But I just wanted to use this as an example that sometimes I find that it doesn't work on all things, and you can use the brightening tool, which will have more of an effect and keep your image a bit sharper. So yeah, I just wanted to say that because looking at the photos, it reminded me of the discussion that we were having this week. Again, I pulled this out of my old stock that I still had left to list. It was perfect for this time of the year, and it sold really quickly, and for the full price of £25. So I was really pleased with that. I do really well with Peruna skirts actually, so look out for Peruna skirts, especially the more unusual styles, and this time of the year the wool skirts sell particularly well. I was really happy to pick up a pair of All Saints jeans at a boot sale. I was a little bit surprised because I thought they would go for more, but it might be more the design than anything else. They're quite a sort of 2000s kind of design, not a very on-trend design in jeans currently, so I think that really affected the price on them. But I was still happy to get £21.99. I wouldn't have paid more than £5 for them, so there was a small amount of profit in that. This is another pair of shoes that I got in the haul from the Jumble Trail. I took an offer of £25 on these. They didn't take long to sell at all, but I was just happy to get £25 on them. I usually do that. I set up a higher price than I think I can get, and I set a minimum on offers. So, any offer that comes through past that minimum, I'm really quite happy to accept. So £25 I was happy to get on those. So that's it for this month. Thanks ever so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And if you haven't watched us before, basically my husband and I are resellers, and we make videos about what we pick up, what we sell, and our adventures along the way. So if you want to watch more videos like that, then please subscribe, and I'll see you soon in another video with Nick. Bye for now.